This was a magical weight loss factory. No matter how overweight a woman was, she could quickly become slim after coming here. One day, a woman and her husband arrived at the factory. The woman decided to try the transformation process. As she watched beautiful, slim women walking by, she felt extremely jealous. Suddenly, her name was called over the loudspeaker. Excited, she handed her bag to her husband and hurried inside. Her husband stayed outside and waited. A little later, while feeling bored, he heard the sound of high heels clicking nearby. Curious, he followed the sound to take a look. Before long, he found himself inside the factory. The flashing alarm light above the door made him slightly uneasy, but he quickly brushed the feeling aside. Just then, a worker walked past him. Since nobody asked him to leave, he continued toward the factory's main hall. There, he noticed that all the workers were slim and moved in exactly the same way, which felt strangely unsettling. Seeing those identical workers reminded him of his wife. As he passed a glass window, he looked inside and saw several women. One worker stood on a platform, directing the process. Following her instructions, each woman put on a pair of goggles and climbed into a machine filled with jelly-like substance. The machine then powered on and began spinning rapidly, causing their body fat to decrease. But that was only the first step. Next, the women were sent into an oven-like chamber. To increase the effect, workers periodically sprayed them with a special weight loss liquid. After some time in insulation, the liquid took full effect. However, not every woman could endure the process. One woman secretly escaped. The room was filled with large containers, each connected to the factory through a pipe. Quietly sneaking toward the back, she spotted a bread maker sitting in a corner. Moments later, a cake came out of it. Seeing no one around, she grabbed the cake and started eating it. Meanwhile, the remaining women had reached the final stage. As soon as they chose their positions, several pipes suddenly emerged and transformed the overweight women into extremely thin versions of themselves. When the entire procedure was finally complete, the factory doors opened. A group of beautiful women who had successfully lost weight walked out. The husband rushed forward, searching for his wife, but he couldn't find her anywhere. A short while later, his wife slowly emerged from the factory. Surprisingly, she looked exactly the same as before. Although she hadn't lost any weight, the experience had given her something far more important: confidence in herself. The husband let out a sigh of relief and wrapped his arms around her, because he loved her exactly the way she was.